Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Iron Torch 20, and we welcome you to another edition of Weekend Playthroughs. And for this playthrough, this is going to be Mighty Final Fight, a much more cartoonish remake of the original Final Fight. And this game came out in 1993 for the NES. And they kind of changed the story a little bit, but I mean, I'll just let this opening cutscene explain stuff. But yeah, one of the reasons I decided to play this one is because I wasn't going to do a Let's Play of a beat 'em up anytime soon, but this is one game that I do really enjoy. And I also do like the gameplay elements, but at the end of the day, this one isn't really worth doing a full Let's Play on. And once you get to the gameplay, and once you get to like how this game is, I mean, I think you'll find out why. But here the story changes a little bit in that instead of the Mad Gear Gang kidnapping Jessica in order to extort Mayor Hager, instead they say that Belger fell in love with her and then kidnapped her to make her his own. So either way, you get the title screen and then you get the cutscene, and you know, all that's all fine and good, so let's just go ahead and dive into this. And you get your choice of 3 characters, and these are all the same as the original Final Fight. You have Hager, the strong, slow one, Cody, the well-rounded one, and Guy, the faster but weaker one. So for the purposes of, I always like playing as Guy, so I'll just go with him. And the stages are pretty much the same, except they are kind of set in different places. And you do get your combinations, and you also get knees and throws. I mean, close range strikes and throws. So yeah, this is pretty much going to be a game where a lot of it is going to be mashing the buttons, and then some of it is going to be using some special moves. And then, one thing I should mention with this game is the experience points, and the way experience works in this game is that finishing off your opponents with special moves is one thing that's going to grant you more experience, while just landing regular strikes and jump kicks and that kind of stuff is going to give you less experience, but it's more effective in taking out the bad guys. And every time you reach your cap, then you get you get to gain a level, and then the most you can have is, I think, level 6. And then every time you gain a level, you get a little bit stronger, and also you learn a new move. So I think the new move I just learned, actually I don't even remember, but I know you get different stuff, but I mean, I'll probably have to look further into it. But one reason I am playing this game is that it is very good for, I mean, just a relaxing game, which is kind of odd for a Final Fight game, but it is actually pretty fun. And also, this is one that is lesser known, because this game did come out in 1993, so that's a little late for the NES's shelf life. And you can also get bonuses here, and basically what these are is just you can find extra. Okay, well, I missed that one. Well, at least I got 2 lives out of this though. And then you can also get weapons. Guy gets shurikens, Cody gets knives, and I don't really remember what Hager gets. I don't really play as Hager all that much, but I think the arcade Final Fight is much more suited for Hager. And then in this game they actually make Poison an actual woman, so that's something a little bit more interesting. And now we're up to our first boss. Although one thing I should say that I don't like about this game as much as you know, the other Final Fights is the fact that there's no 2-player mode. And also enter no both times just for this guy to, you know, get more pissy about you not knowing who he is, and he also does actually lose health if you do it that way. But the easy way to deal with Thrasher is just wait for him to jump, because you kind of don't want to you kind of don't want to let this guy just do whatever he wants. You kind of just want to wait for him to jump at you, and then you can just do your damage that way. But either way, I am wearing him down at a... Yeah, see, that's what I was afraid of. And then there is also a spin attack that you can get, you know, just when you're surrounded. I mean, that's something that works. And I find that, like I said before, the easy way is just probably to jump kick him. And that's usually the way to go with Guy. I mean, since he is the fast one, you probably want to just win that way. And that's the end of stage 1. If you do finish the stage with full health, then you do get a bonus stage. But, I mean, unfortunately I couldn't do that, but, yeah, well, what are you gonna do? But now we're up to stage 2, and I will say right now that one other reason I am playing this is because I love this soundtrack. And it is also just a lot of fun just to not only listen to the tracks, but just to beat up bad guys to it. And then, of course, this jerk is the remake of Elgato from the original Final Fight. Although I will have to say, if I had to recommend a Final Fight, play the GBA one. I mean, that one does everything that the original arcade game does, and it's also just a lot of fun. And you can also, like, unlock extra characters like the Street Fighter Alpha versions of Guy and Cody, which are honestly just a lot of fun to play with. And also there are extra things you can do, like you can unlock like a cheat menu, or you can unlock let's see, I think there's, well, besides extra characters, you can also unlock like different colors for the characters. And then just other stuff like that. But yeah, since this is a late era NES game, the graphics and the music and the presentation are all really good. So that's one of the other things that does make this game a lot of fun. Well, either way, I'm not gonna let this jerk do his thing. Because I think they're either called 2P or something else in the original game. That they just basically run around and jab. And that's just basically how these guys go. And just finish you off with knees, because that's always the easy way to do things. And the good thing about using the knees is that you can not only get extra health, but I mean just wear them down, but you can also just get more experience that way. And also when you land all 3 of them, then the third one ends up doing a lot more damage. So that is something to know. Let's just take that level up. And also one thing I do like about the overall structure of the game is that they never throw way too many people at you. But since this was an NES game, I don't really think it was capable of doing that. I mean, without there having a whole bunch of slowdown. But also, as far as the GBA Final Fights go, I mean just the first one, but one of the other reasons that game is so good is because that's really the only good port of the original Final Fight. I mean, the Super NES, you had, you tried to at least have some port of Final Fight, but it was honestly not that good a game, because you only had 5 stages instead of the usual 6, like in the original arcade game. And also, you could only play one player, and you could only play as either Cody or Hager. And they did make one so that you could play as Guy, except they got rid of Cody in its place, so it kind of defeated the purpose. But at the end of the day, the Super NES, that was early era Super NES, so I don't really think they were capable of including all 3 characters, but I don't really know. But at least we get another barrel breaking session. So let's just go ahead and deal with some more bad guys, and bad girls in this case. But anyway, yeah, I am enjoying this weekend playthrough project, and I feel like Battletoads went well enough that it is worth, you know, just continuing this series. And I kinda didn't need that. Yeah, in the original game, these guys also gave me a lot of fits. So you get tossed. Oh, hey there. I don't really know where you came from, but okay. But either way, the easy way, I think once you, I forget what level it is, but you do get that double kick, which I think is really good for clearing out crowds. So we get to meet our first samurai, and yeah, this was actually Sodom in the original version, and he was also in Street Fighter Alpha. But really the way I'm handling this is I'm just waiting for him to attack, just like so, and then just get my combinations off. I mean, that's really the easy way to deal with these bosses, because you kind of don't want to try and force the issue with these guys. Especially when you're Guy, because he's not as strong, and also I think he takes more damage than the other guys when he gets hit, but I don't really know that for a fact. I mean, I do love playing as Guy in Final Fight 3. I mean, I really do enjoy that game, despite the fact that it's not really that good, but it is also a lot of fun to play. I was thinking about doing that as a weekend playthrough, but then again, I probably should play that one co-op if I was gonna do that. So let's see, yeah, basically that's all I'm doing with this boss, is just waiting for him to attack, or to strike with his swords, and then just countering. Because if you try and charge in and rush him, then he's just gonna attack you that way. And then he can't counter you when you're in the air trying to jump kick him, so that's never any fun. And since I was able to beat him without getting hit, we get to a bonus stage. And really it's just knowing where the barrels are coming from, and staying in the middle is the smartest way to get past this stuff. And also the jump kick helps too. And just like so. And depending on how many you break, you do get a different bonus. So I mean, that's all fine and good. And since I was able to break all of them, I think this one gives me a 2-up. And now for stage 3. And I am gonna go ahead and reset my recording now, so I'll just see you guys when I'm done.